check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
All right, John H. I mean, John A. Hey John, hey Zane, hey Mara, hey Jesse, and everyone else.
Dr. Thomas.
Dr. Wytrolik.
Oh.
Dr. D.
Dr.
I'm thinking
D.
Dr. D. Come on. Hey everybody, welcome to MT Guitar. Jesse's asking, is that you, brother? Well, depends who you are and who I am.
Brother from another mother.
Yeah. We're all brothers.
Is that you, brother?
Is that you, brother?
Jesse.
Could be me, yeah.
Jesse Betty.
Do you recognize that name?
Jesse Betty?
Jessie Betty. Not Black Betty, but Jessie Betty.
Maybe. It's hard to tell. It's a tiny little
It's me, brother.
one and only.
The reason I'm squinting is because of my contacts here. Amazing. Thank you, Nina. I mean, Natsa. Oh, Jesus. This is what happens. When I go live. No editing.
That's why we don't have nice things.
Yeah. Anymore. Thanks, Nata. So, is it sounding all right? So this is Dr. D. I've linked his name in the his channel, I should say, in the title, and you should click on it right now and subscribe. And I'll remind you
Please.
later.
I have like 100 subscribers. 102 or something.
Yeah, it's a very underrated channel. He teaches production. Well, you talk about the channel. Introduce yourself a little bit.
Yeah, so I'm Dr. D, also known as David. Me and Mitch met in grad school when we were doing our graduate degrees in guitar performance, and yeah, got to know each other. We're roommates, played a lot of music together. Mitch moved out to Colorado after I did, and we both worked at Front Range for a bit, and yeah, we played a lot of music together and collaborated quite a bit. And yeah, I've got a YouTube channel that's dedicated to like music technology and production and songwriting and stuff along those lines. I haven't really dabbled in the guitar lesson online stuff. I mean, I teach guitar lessons obviously and play guitar a lot, but haven't really taken it online. But yeah, for
And you're a guitar
Ableton,
doctor, so
yeah,
you're
but,
qualified to do it.
yeah, I could. I just I don't know.
Yeah.
I seen your channel. It's like, oh, that's a lot of work. 300 plus videos.
I scared him off with my
like
my
I don't
output
know.
there. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I got
scary.
like 40, and it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
But it's a good channel. It's got a lot of beginner entry level stuff for like Ableton Live and Logic and Pro Tools. It's kind of based on the courses I teach at the community college at Front Range quite a bit, so it's kind of inspired by the curriculum I've developed in a lot of the lessons and activities. And I just kind of like made video content lessons with it during COVID quite a bit, and
Yeah.
so check it out.
So if you're looking to record, which I encourage all my students to record because it greatly helps your your guitar playing, your musicianship. It helps your rhythm, right? So record to a click track. It also gives you direct feedback so that when you play and you hear yourself, you think, I could do better. So if you're looking to record and get better, I highly recommend subscribing to Dr. D's channel. Let's get his channel some activity, because it's hard for a new content creator. So we appreciate it. But Dave and I, we'll talk more about our jams throughout the years, but we've been jamming for pretty much 8 years. So that's why I kind of really wanted to make sure I got a jam in here with Dave, Dr. D, before I left, and I'm leaving in a couple days. So that's kind of the goal. So we have a nice little set list of...
Don't leave.
I know.
Who am I going to jam with?
Yeah. Maybe my car will break down and I'll be stuck
Here
here.
we go. I'll be stuck in...
Yeah, I'll be
Texas
here in
somewhere.
November. So, yeah, it's nice of people to want me to stay. I do want to stay, so it's a tough thing. But yeah, we have a list of originals and covers, and please feel free to just kick back, grab a beverage, grab a snack, and enjoy some music. Let's see. Can you read those comments better than me? Because I'm squinting here.
See, brother, there's the amazing
Yeah.
Nate. What you drinking? Ooh,
What are you drinking?
Nate Collin.
I'm drinking a Lagunitas IPA.
This is a Lush Puppy, juicy IPA,
Bootstrap.
in Longmont.
So Lagunitas IPA is my hometown of Petaluma, and they helped put IPA on the map. So I'm very home pride right now. What's the next comment?
Oh, is that the beer or the glasses? Great jam. At some time, love to see best way to mic and acoustic.
AJ, who gave me a very
Ooh,
very
there you
generous
go.
contribution last night. What's the best way to mic a guitar and voice? He said, or
Just
an acoustic?
guitar, I think.
Well, my opinion is I pretty much. I mean, Dave is an expert, so maybe I'll let Dave actually.
Like the thing about miking instruments is like there's no right and wrong way to do it.
Right.
I mean, really. But here's what I usually do. Generally, like out of the sound hole of the guitar, you got some of the darker sounds, and around the 12th fret, you have some of the brighter sounds of the guitar. You could situate one really good mic in front of you and play into that, and that's going to sound pretty good. And if you move a little bit here and there, it'll go darker or brighter depending on where it's situated, pointing at what part of the guitar. But a lot of times I'll put two mics on it. I'll have like a small diaphragm condenser, which is kind of a good mic for picking up higher frequencies.
Yep.
I'll point that at the 12th fret, and then I'll have like a large diaphragm. So small diaphragm condenser on the 12th fret, large diaphragm on the sound hole, and that usually gives you pretty good results. And then later you can pan those apart or leave them kind of in
Stereo
line with each
image.
other. But whenever you have two mics on an instrument, you got to watch for phasing.
Yep.
So if one mic's like a inch closer than the other, it'll be slightly out of phase. The waves will be like just a microsecond behind one another. But you can always scooch those and fix those later. But the main
It
thing
can
is,
be a nasty issue though.
yeah, it can be a nasty issue. But if you got one really good mic, a condenser mic, you
Yeah.
throw it in between the 12th fret and the sound hole, and listen to your guitar and play it and see where it sounds like really good at.
Yeah,
and then
use your ear as
where
a
your
mic.
ear is, that's where the mic should go. That's a good
Yeah.
test.
And if you put your ear near the 12th fret, it's very bright and resonant. And obviously, if you put it right on the sound hole, it's very bassy. So obviously, we'd have to be careful to not. Some people think just stick a mic right on the sound hole, which you get way too much bass and wind, right?
Yeah.
So you kind of want to point it towards it at an angle, is my understanding.
Yeah, because
or-
there's air moving.
Yeah.
Like sound is air particles, and sound pressure levels are vibrating air particles. So you don't want to be right in front of the fire hydrant. You want to be kind of like around it. But if it sounds good, it sounds good. And,
Sounds like there's a new
yeah.
video you can create for.
There's actually a video
You've done that.
doing a mic shootout on the acoustic guitar with like a
that's
ribbon mic, a condenser, small diaphragm. It's pretty cool because I'll just like play, and then it's like clips to this one, edits to that one, changes to that one, and it's like in real time you can hear the different mics,
That's awesome.
like
I
what
think I
they
remember
sound
that video.
like. Yeah, it's kind of a cool video.
All right,
Yeah.
so what do you want to play next? You want to do an original of mine?
Let's play some ping pong
All right, we're gonna play some ping pong.
later.
So,
See you later.
Yeah.
Watch us
Wait.
suck at ping pong.
yeah.
Well, we're pretty good, but like, yeah. All right. I
Some
don't
of us
know.
are pretty good.
You want to do one of your originals?
Yeah, you want to do an original?
Let's do one of your originals.
You want to do?
I don't know. Here's the original. So
Yeah, we can do the first one. We can do Wash Away. It's kind of a subdued one.
okay. Wash away. Wash away.
We'll ease into the night. We'll wash away our
our troubles and
yeah.
fears and anxieties with alcohol and songs.
Very to the point. Yeah. Yeah, we'll wash away our troubles with music. That's pretty much the way to go. So, thanks for tuning in. Remember to hit the thumbs up. I'm gonna bug you about that just because it helps the video. Sorry. All right, 3, 4. Rest your bones, close your eyes, visualize what's beyond sight. Pause to drink, never before taste so good. Ripple around a faithless pride. Bathe in life, exhale the end of it. Dark blue used to rayless light. Crumble into sand, hold into a molten rock. Don't be shocked by the rising tide. Just wash away, sink below everything. Don't come back to the things you love. Wash away, sink below everything. Don't come back to the things you love. Don't come back to the things you love. Twisting around, dizzy while still sitting still. Is this a dream or am I woke? Ear to a seashell, hermit shed out of its hell, distant and gone to never tell. Wide awake, but it doesn't feel the same when I'm walking with open eyes. Pass on by, don't save me if I want to. Nice. Got some good viewership going.
It's a good tune, man.
Thanks. That's off of a Cuckoo Clock. Oh, hey Becky. There's chaos, but I'm here. All right, good to see you. That was off of Cuckoo Clock, which I mentioned last night. That album right there. That was released, 2006.
You can find that one on MySpace. It's only MySpace.
That's so true, actually.
Exclusive.
Yeah, you can find it on MySpace was a pretty legit music platform back in 2006.
Oh my god. My old rock band booked an entire 2-week tour on MySpace alone. Just
Really?
messaging people and
Kentucky Knife Fight?
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah, it was legit. It was like all people did in the music community was like MySpace.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, you remember that though.
I remember it would like get a play count going too, and you get like
Mhm.
people playing it, and yeah, it was. MySpace became like the musician hang, and then it wasn't really a social media thing anymore. It was just like bands posting on MySpace by the end of it,
Yeah.
and then Facebook just.
It's weird that it went away because like nothing really that great replaced it.
That's
I mean,
true.
Facebook was just, social media, Instagram wasn't around yet, but I don't know why it just disappeared like that. It's like that generation of people just got sick of like social media, and then
Right.
I don't know what.
And then the
thing
joke was on us because now this is all we have. Yeah, well, I think the platforms become old-fashioned or something. Like people think, oh, okay, well, MySpace is not the new thing anymore,
Yeah.
which is like always the shiny new object kind of syndrome, maybe.
Right.
Yeah, well,
What does it say? Arctic Monkeys built a lot of their success off MySpace.
oh yeah, AJ, right?
Yeah, I think a lot of bands
Arctic Monkeys yeah.
really got their start on that.
Didn't like the Strokes kind of do that as well, or maybe yeah. But I know a lot of those early 2000s bands. Yeah. So thanks for joining us. Yeah, we just keep it rolling, really. That was Wash Away.
What you feeling, Mitch?
Let's see. We could do some more jazz.
Ooh, jazzies. Let's get jazzies. I know the changes to these tunes.
Yeah, I picked some tunes that I'm more familiar with.
What's your channel, your stream, of course.
Yeah,
I'm a doctor. I should be able to play these well.
yeah, same here. But in theory, right? How about recording me? Do a little craziness.
Allez!
Allez. Nice. Been hanging out with me lately.
It's my one, like.
You want to hit the head? Recordame.
Record me.
Joe Henderson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Joe Henderson. Good stuff. Well.
Yeah.
So, any questions for Dr. D? I like that question about how to mic an acoustic guitar because that's his specialty. So, anything else, feel free to ask. We'll probably end up talking about our time at both at USC as grad students a little bit, and maybe a little bit about teaching at Front Range, where we both were teaching. Well, he's still teaching. I was teaching there for 3 years, and so we're happy to talk about that if that's of interest. The academic perspective is one thing. We're also gigging musicians, luckily, for our own sanity. So it's not just only
teaching
only,
Yeah.
which is great. But it's fun to just play music and not be so structured all the time too.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. I like a balance of the two: the structure and the looseness and freedom. Because I don't know, too much freedom.
Too much freedom is not good either.
Yeah.
Too much of one thing is probably not great.
Right. It's I don't know. It's nice to kind of control and be able to like go back and forth between those.
Yeah. I mean, I feel inspired from playing shows. I also feel inspired sometimes from teaching because I'll realize something I want to work on. I'll realize also my student will have a certain perspective on something that's like, oh yeah, I guess that is, So you can always like learn something as a teacher and also be sort of inspire yourself through your own teaching. And I mean, doesn't happen every day necessarily, but
I learn a lot of stuff from my from my students, just like trying to like help solve the problems, help teach them stuff, kind of coming up with creative ways of like explaining things that
right.
When you kind of learn something, there's like one way you kind of learn, you find some kind of like one way of doing things, and
right.
Through helping a student kind of problem solve something or teaching something over and over again and trying to like twist it around and make it more practical or understandable, like you kind of like discover some new things about it. Right. So I've had a lot of like epiphanies from teaching, from like classes or private students or whatever, of like, oh, that's a really cool idea I just came up with, like you kind of made me come up with, because I'm trying to help you,
because you're trying to frame it in a different way,
and explain it to you,
and that almost eliminates it to yourself.
Yeah, and you're like, whoa, wow, that's kind of a cool way of explaining that.
Yeah, I would say that happens every week for me with some student. I mostly teach private students now, but I'll be like, wow, like, okay, they're responding to a certain strategy of teaching. They're responding to a certain idea, whether it's Roman numerals or pentatonic or who knows, right? And then all of a sudden it's like you describe something or a song in a certain way, and then you hadn't realized that that's occurring even because you hadn't thought of it that way until you tried to meet the student at their level. So,
what's an example of that that's happened of recent?
Right. Well, like I would say, like I can't. It's hard to think of that exact, but like voice leading has been a pretty big thing, because a lot of my students are wondering, like, if you're going to another chord, how do I solo over that? And like the easy, like the simplistic answer is, well, just play that pentatonic of that chord, or play only like the arpeggio of that chord. But another answer is like, if you're going to a 4 chord, the 3 goes up a half step for voice leading. So if I'm playing an A to D, you can just move that one note, and instead of thinking I must think D major or Mixolydian or pentatonic, all this stuff, which could be great, and that's what I do a lot too, so it's not bad, but might be a lot of information to be like, okay, D, E, F sharp, So instead I'm just going to play A major, but I'm going to have these chord tones and these triad, and then I could move it up to the 4, something like that, or then move the 5 up to the 6. So I'm never really leaving A, so I'm just thinking one block of a key. Right. So stuff like that, where I wouldn't say that I meditate on these ideas by myself and think about everything in a different way, but when you're with a student, you try to make it simple and just give them one note to move, which is voice leading.
Yeah. Because like when things modulate, they only modulate to a neighboring key. So you're like adding
Yeah.
a sharp or
That's true.
gaining one flat.
Fourth
it's
or
like
a fifth up.
modulating. You're not going to modulate somewhere unless you're playing like modern jazz tunes and Coltrane or whatever. You're
Or
not gonna-
gospel, where you
yeah,
go
you're
up.
not going to modulate like to a key that has like 5 different notes in it. It's usually going to be like, ooh, a sharp, one extra flat. So it's like,
Right.
if you think of it like that, it's like you got this home base key, and then you got these other keys that kind of happen, and they're teased. You go there for a minute, and then you kind of resolve back to the previous key. So it's like, just for that moment, you had those extra spicy notes in there at the right time. If you hear it, you can just kind of play that shit by ear, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
It makes it a little bit easier than like doing all this brain power analytical theory stuff of like, oh, this is
Yeah.
the Mixolydian middle, blah 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 blah.
Right. The less you think, the better, right? If we're performing at a show, if one of us is thinking a lot, it's gonna seriously,
sucks. I
it's
hate
seriously,
thinking.
you know, impinge on our performance. And there's that saying in jazz, you learn it to forget it, which I always like, because it's like you learn melodic minor and all the modes, and it's like, oh my God, kill me now. And then all of a sudden, you know, you just shed it for 20 days straight, and all of a sudden you're not thinking about it and you're just doing it.
Yeah, that effortless mastery stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, there was one of my
Kenny
students.
Warner.
One of my students said something. So there's like a Bruce Lee quote where like Bruce Lee, it's like when you're a student of like kung fu, karate, whatever it is, like a punch is a punch, right? And then you like study the martial arts and you realize there's like all these muscles and all this like technique and body position and hand position, and like it's like all this crazy stuff. And then once you know all that and master that, a punch is just a punch. You know, once
You're
again,
full circle.
So it's like
But
when you're a
it's-
musician, it's
yeah.
like when you start out, you're just like, yeah,
A song is just a song. A riff
it's
is just a
song.
riff.
This is fun. Like I'm playing music with my buddies,
And that's the
like
goal.
it just feels good.
Yeah.
And then you study music, and it's like a bummer for like 20 years.
It's a
You realize
bummer.
like how
You're
good
like,
everyone
yeah.
else is, and like you
How
learn
much
all
there
this
is to
stuff.
learn and how much there is to master.
And you learn enough stuff where you're kind of good with it.
But then you get to that point.
And then you get to that point to where you're just like, yeah, I just know all this stuff. I don't have to
I
think
can
about
hear
it.
it.
so
I can
much.
feel it. I don't have to think about
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Even if you do like think about it, it usually inhibits it because you know it's in your fingers and
Yeah.
programmed into your hearing and stuff. But then you know, it can't come out unless you're like just like floating around and kind of like not thinking about it. Then you like hear stuff that you should be playing and hear things in the other music from
It's-
the musicians that you're playing with. You hear what they're doing and like, ooh, I'm gonna go there and try that. Oh, I know what that sounds like. That's cool. I'm gonna play that.
Yeah.
Or catch you with these chords.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And our ears and are much more intuitive than our minds. So I always try to use my ear as much as possible. And then rhythm, you know, the body knows the rhythm without analyzing it. We could analyze rhythm, and I do with my students, but if your body is feeling it, you're probably in good shape too. So all those things are good. So
Yeah.
if there's any students of mine watching, anytime I talk about a bunch of theory, you can quote me here by saying, yeah, it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
Got some sirens. All right, well, let's play another original of mine.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Which one?
Let's do, yeah, No More Time to Think or No Way Out. Let's see. What do you think?
I don't
Should we
think.
do some hip hop?
I just play.
There's no more time to think. Let's do No More Time to Think.
how appropriate we have to play this one.
Yeah. No more time to think when you're playing music.
Don't think while you're playing,
Yeah.
unless you're worried about playing the wrong notes and you're reading a chart.
Right. Unless you're playing like a sight reading thing, then think a lot. But this song is actually one of the first songs I wrote, but it's on Airplane, which Dave mixed with another USC grad. So it's on Airplane. So yeah, this song, No More Time to Think. Now during the recording of this song, I had a voice injury and I sang it really low. So if you're in the mood for some super low bass vocals, you can listen to it on Airplane. I'll sing it regularly though, because my voice is fine now. All right, little intro, and then we'll pick it up on the verse. 3, 4. So many atmospheres to change from. It's hard to adjust, but Lord knows I must. In time we trust, constantly in a rush. So I've got to be sure of myself when I talk. Keep thoughts to a hush. The more you fuss about your situation, less you get somewhere, harder it gets to bear. Don't hesitate or attempt to penetrate that soul inside. You'll lose your job and then your mind. No more time to think once or twice. Use your instincts and act right away. There's no one standing still gets a slice. But I'd rather think of my own cake to bake. So many happy faces to see, so little time to not say one word. Keep walking these square street lines. Remember to not hold in too many memories. This life is full of moments that might make it hard to leave. To pray or meditate is to pause for too long. Work for food, eat your dinner, write your lonely songs. Ponder nothing now, wait until you're retired to find out that you're tired and you're uninspired. No more time to think once or twice. Use your instincts and act right away. No one standing still gets a slice. But I'd rather think of my own cake to bake. Have no worry for the wondering and the thinking that your things that you bring. Baby, we're at home with all the mumbling and rumbling through an abundance of nothing. Don't you know that there's no time? Use your instincts and act right away. No one standing still gets a slice. But I'd rather think of my own cake to bake. Nice.
Nice.
And even though me and Dave have been jamming forever, he hasn't played these songs a lot because, in you know, in my gigs, I'm the only guitar player. So, and we mainly just jam standards, and then we do an old folks home quite a lot.
Yeah,
but that's like a lot of country, and that's a lot of covers. And,
yeah, we'll do a lot of covers, like old jazz songs and old country songs for the old folks, because they like that stuff. And we know how to play it. We studied just playing jazz music, like music of the 30s, 40s, and 50s.
We're like an expert on their generation.
Pop music, yeah.
They're like, oh, My Funny Valentine. Oh.
We're like, no one our own age gives a shit.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes. Yeah.
Sometimes, but usually they're jazz
it's just not
students in
popular
college.
music for today's youth.
Yeah. So there's a lot of talented people, but it's not like it's mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
But I see a lot of talented young jazz players, but they usually cross over with like the neo soul thing, where they use jazz techniques, but they're playing modern styles, which I think is cool.
Yeah, and that's kind of where it's at.
Yeah.
Like if jazz it's a great vehicle to like learn how to play anything. Like if you're studying jazz, you're learning really complex harmony with all these 4 notes, 7th chords, and all the extensions and all this like really really kind of exotic harmony, and then you're improvising. You're learning like some of the best written melodies, like all these.
Oh my gosh, those romantic melodies and
romantic like Broadway musical songs. And
all the things you are, and
it's just a gorgeous, beautifully written lyrics.
I Love You
and melodies and
Emily.
like harmonies. Just wow, there's so much. It's dense, and then it's like super hard to improvise over because it does a lot of crazy exotic stuff. So if you can play jazz and improvise and compose or whatever in that medium, like you can play fucking blues or soul or R&B or even classical if you want. You just gotta lock yourself in a room for 10 hours a day and play scales and
then the torture begins. But 10 hours a day. You just got to do 10 hours a day, and then you're good.
10 hours a day, or 5.
Yeah, let's cut it in half.
5 for 20
if
years.
you can do 5.
Yeah.
You can do the 10,000 hour rule.
And then you can compete against 30 other people for that one orchestra position.
Yeah.
Or 400 people, I don't know.
Well, that's classical world. Yeah, that's too.
If you want to make a living off of it.
But if you look at like the vocabulary of the melodies, like you're saying, like learning jazz, I didn't realize at first I thought it was learning how to play over a bunch of cool chords and learning songs, and the songs.
That's not what
right. It's not what it is. But like my generation, which I'm pretty much same age as you, we didn't grow up in the 40s or 50s either, or 60s even. So it's like, okay, bunch of cool chords, and then jazz artists would come to my undergrad school, Sonoma State, and they would talk, and they'd be like, we'd be asking them questions. It was like a forum, and they'd be like, we can tell when a young player is killing, and he's shredding and he's sounding great. We can tell if they've learned standards, or if they've just learned how to play over standards, because the melodies that they learn, the melodies of like say 150 tunes, like me and Dave had to memorize 100 jazz standards pretty much at USC for our barriers, but let's say there's like 300 or 400 standards that could be called at any New York jazz session tonight. So you learn 100 or 200 of those melodies really well in several keys, and it shows up in your improvising. So you're not just playing, blah, blah, blah,
just scales.
Just scales, or just cool ideas maybe. But
which is I think that's the hardest strain.
Yeah. Of
like knowing and like studying all this stuff and knowing a bunch of tunes as well as like practicing a bunch of scales and technique and
because of the balance
cool
there.
chords and all the ways to harmonize over them. It's like really difficult to just restrain yourself to play a pretty melody that's like in the key but isn't flashy.
A singable melody.
You just want to like play a scale up and down a chord, another chord, play a scale up and down the chords. It's hard to not do that because that's what you trained your fingers to do. So you have to like play enough standards and melodies and just kind of check yourself. So like, am I playing melodies? Or am I just playing scales and exercises? Because a lot of times I'm just playing scales and exercises. That's what my fingers know how to do. It's like you got to teach your fingers to play melodies.
It's exciting to run those things, but the melody is going to be more memorable, and it's going to be
that's music, lyricism. Not 50 notes as fast as you can play them up and down the scale.
Right. So the faster you play, the more melodic you have to be in order to keep that melodic. But it's hard, but it's possible. But
What did AJ say?
yeah,
Love to hear some rockabilly talking about playing in the old timer zone. Brought up that 50s and 60s tune and always
Cochran, Dwayne Eddy.
furry.
Well,
Do we know any of that stuff? I mean, we do like Hank Williams and stuff.
yeah, I would say rockabilly is not something we've done much, but I
You
mean,
could call like, I mean, Elvis is rockabilly. You could even say like
Yeah.
some of the old country.
even some Johnny Cash stuff.
Merle Haggard, maybe a little rockabilly.
Kind of more, yeah. It
I
could be.
mean, I
It's
don't
kinda
know.
country.
You could play it in a rockabilly vibe, but it's
like some Johnny Cash is rockabilly, like
Yeah.
Get Rhythm. If you sing the blues, come on and get rhythm.
So rockabilly is kind of an interesting because I think of like rockabilly is like the upright bass and slapping on it, and like
get
the,
rhythm.
yeah, it's kind of like
If you
Elvis-y.
yeah, oh baby,
Yeah.
that's Folsom
What
Prison
key are you
Blues
in?
now. Yeah. Rockabilly,
Kinda.
kinda.
Like Travis picking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, it's like you need like it's like rhythm and blues, like drums and bass kind of really kind of make rockabilly.
Yeah.
Get it's like, because it's hillbilly rock basically.
Right.
So it's like hillbilly music and like early '50s rock and roll, like Chuck Berry stuff in it, you know.
Right. Yeah. Chuck Berry, is like rock and roll and rockabilly are very related.
Mm-hmm.
Rock and roll was a taking a lot of the blues and making it into a straight groove that needs drums and bass, and saying we're going to make blues popular, among white people basically, and Go, go, go! Go, Johnny, go, go! Go, Johnny, go, go! Go, Johnny, go, go! Go, Johnny, go, go! Johnny, be good!
It's like that whole like. You ever do that? Like it's
funny.
hard to play.
Hey, we got a
Eighth note.
donation. Uber Jam Sam. He's actually one of my private students. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Sam.
And I know his name. Dave, can you tell us where that name is inspired from? Uber Jam Sam?
Oh, that's from Schofield Uber Jam.
Yeah.
Dude, such a great
See?
record.
Dr. D
Oh,
knows.
God.
Yeah.
Uber Jam.
He's a big fan of John Scofield, so Marty.
That was the first John Scofield record I heard of John Scofield, I think, and like I was at I was like a sophomore. She's like 2002, probably 2002 or 2003, and it was just like, what? Hold on, what is this?
So
What?
epic, yeah.
What the hell is
This is a
this music
whole
you're
nother-
listening to? Who is this? Like, oh, it's John Scofield, Uber Jam. I was like, this is freaking incredible.
It's
I was
like
it's like jazz.
mind altering.
You know, he's like obviously a jazz guy, but it was like all this
Super
funky
modern.
soul, and then like a kind of like
Tons of
electronic
soul.
stuff going on.
Yeah, he
It
had
was just-
synths going.
it was
He
just
also
like,
bent
what?
notes and he put distortion on the guitar, which are 2 no-nos for guitar, for
Yeah,
jazz
like-
guitar, I should say.
Bending the strings off the fretboard.
Yeah. yeah. Yeah.
So good.
And then, like, you know, yeah. And he's such a soul player. Like, I saw him. Have you seen him live?
Yeah, I've seen it with Medeski Martin and Woods.
Oh, yeah. Damn, twice. I saw him once at Yoshi's. He used his fingers the entire show. And, like, you know, he was just like, everything was so, like, it could have been sloppy, but it wasn't. But, you know, it's just like, you know, it's just like, oh, so much soul and stuff, and he pulls it all off, and it's like, it's not like, you know, it's not like this.
It's
Clean.
not pretty. He doesn't play
Yeah.
pretty. He plays nasty.
He plays now.
He plays nasty. Like down here, he plays
plays
the nasty stuff.
Right, he plays on the bridge. Yeah. Everything's slightly.
It's hard to do this on an acoustic guitar.
Yeah,
It's not.
yeah.
You need that 335
Yeah.
plugged into a Vox AC30 with a rat pedal. That's what he uses.
Right.
AC,
With a what
actually,
pedal?
With a rat pedal.
Oh.
Yeah, John Scofield came and did a clinic at my college I did undergrad with. And
Illinois?
he played my AC30 and signed it.
What?
So that AC30 I have has like John Scofield
No
2006 or something written on it.
Wow.
Yeah. it was
Did he
cool.
ask you ahead of time? Like, how did he know?
Well, he was gonna. He was playing in St. Louis at the Bistro, and then our school was able to get him come and do a clinic for that afternoon, real quick, for like an hour. I probably paid him a bunch of money, but yeah. So
Wow.
he came out and like, you know, everyone knows he plays like an AC30 and
Yeah.
he's got his pedals and all that stuff, but he just showed up with his guitar and he played through my AC30 and yeah, it was pretty dope. He played with Reggie Thomas, the keyboard or piano player, and he had the Hammond B3 out.
Oh,
and
man.
There it was, so sick.
Something about organ and guitar is just so juicy.
Yeah, it's the great thing about organ and guitar is like the organ player, when he's soloing and playing bass in the left hand, he can't play chords.
Yeah,
So the
that's
guitar player
perfect.
gets to like comp chords, you know. Some
Right.
piano players won't let you have space. They'll just like play everything and comp
Right,
themselves.
you're not supposed to comp for a piano solo because they're comping for themselves.
Yeah, unless they let you go
unless
and
they
like
let you.
go and.
But like traditionally, like you're supposed to lay out. Whereas the organ has no choice; they're just playing bass and melody,
Yeah,
and then you fit in with the comping.
exactly.
And then when you're soloing, you have the not just like because a guitar trio with just bass and drums, you don't have chords.
Mm-hmm.
So with an organ trio, which we both have an organ trio, it's the same musicians.
Same musicians.
Yeah, mine's Mitchell Thomas Experience. What's the name of your organ trio?
We don't have a name.
You don't have a name.
We just make funny flyers.
You like play at the Crown Pub last week, and they put a bunch of crowns on.
Crowns. And then Drew, the picture
Yeah.
of Drew is like,
With the hand drum.
he's like playing a djembe, like dressed in like African attire. And he's like,
I know.
it's just like
He looks so weird.
so
It's
stoned
great.
or something.
Yeah.
Oh god, it was funny.
All right, we got a comment here. I'm gonna read it on my phone because of my
Read it.
horrible
I'm
eyes.
gonna get a beer.
Yeah, get a beer. Can you grab me one?
No.
Dang it. Feel good music, says AJ. I'll take a Lagunitas. But can you open it for me? Such demands. Thanks for joining us, everybody, and thanks for the thumbs ups and just the wonderful support you're giving. AJ says, feel good music. How can you not smile? Great stuff. Thank you, AJ. Gato says, oh, thanks. Gato says, I got a scoot. It's been superb so far. I'll watch the rest later for sure.
Thanks,
Question.
Gato.
Thanks, Gato. Question. Besides Joe Henderson, who are some of your favorite jazz players? Okay, let's quickly answer that before we
Ooh,
play
top
again.
3. Let's do top 3.
Okay, top 3 of jazz players.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay, I think I need about 30 seconds. Okay.
30
I
seconds.
got one of them now. I got 2 of them now. See, if he said 3 top jazz guitarists, that would be easier. But this is hard because now we're talking every instrument.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I know one of them.
Top 3 jazz.
God, that's hard.
That's so hard.
How about top 5?
Yeah. just name a handful of people.
Let's do
like.
top 5.
Top 5.
Because then I can name some
Okay,
guitarists. Because
okay,
I wasn't
okay.
even going to name guitarists just now. I was like, how can that be?
All right, you ready?
I am ready.
You want to go? You want to go?
All right, so I don't know. We don't have to rank them though. Can we just say top 5?
Yeah.
Do we?
Or we could go across the instruments. We could go like bass, drums, guitar,
Okay.
keyboard.
All right. Well, I was going to start with a trumpet player.
Okay, go for that.
Lee Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's highly underrated. I love Lee Morgan's compositions and as well as his soloing. I think he's just one of the grooviest, soulful trumpeters. Him and Clifford Brown, but Lee Morgan's a little more of the modern side of it.
Yeah, I like Clifford Brown. I think he's
Clifford
just
Brown.
got the attack. He's just like
Oh, his
back
sound.
fucking sound. He's like,
Yeah.
It's like, whoa! Someone put some compression on that shit. It just pops.
Right. Somebody put some. Somebody's in the 50s, like putting a compressor on his trumpet.
Yeah, it's just wow. He's nasty.
So
He
Lee
died
Morgan
in
and Clifford.
Yeah.
Yeah, he died tragically. He didn't even.
Car accident, right?
He was driving to a gig that was a favor, that was no pay. It was really tragic because it was just this random gig, and
Anyway, let's keep going.
they flew off the thing.
Yeah.
Okay, what about saxophone?
Oh, saxophone.
I have a tied for first kind of thing, but I can pick one.
Yeah, I'd have to go with. I mean, Wayne Shorter's
Oh,
the man.
Wayne Shorter.
I was also
Wayne.
gonna say I like Stan Getz too a lot too. I like that.
Really?
I like his tone. He's just
Nice.
that airy, breathy, like.
Yeah.
It's just.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a different. Wayne Shorter's just like super crazy modern.
I saw Wayne Shorter with Herbie Hancock and Brian Blade
Whoa.
and Christian McBride. It was a super show
Christian McBride is
at the
bad
SF Jazz Center.
boy.
Okay, so my favorite saxophone player, honestly, it's Sonny Rollins.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
Good choice.
I love Sonny because his adventurism, or his sense of adventure with improvising. Like I've never seen an improviser like Sonny or heard an improviser where he's always twisting things around.
Mm-hmm.
As like a fan, as a person, I'm a fan of John Coltrane as a person.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that he's my favorite saxophone player ever because, like I said, Sonny Rollins for me. But I love his playing too. But like John Coltrane, like is an inspiration because he was always working. He was always very, into spirituality and into like pushing the envelope. So those would be my two.
Yeah, his work ethic was.
Oh,
insane.
I was just telling Uber Jam Sam about John Coltrane exercises and the circle of fourths.
God, he's just like.
Chromatic exercise.
The dude had a saxophone glued to his body. Most
They
of his
would
life.
they would play the show with Miles Davis, and Miles and the band would have just been working 8 hours all day setting up the show, and then they're finally having a drink, chatting the girls up. John goes straight to the hotel room to practice.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like he practices all day in the hotel room, goes to the gig,
Yeah.
plays the gig, goes home, practices.
Goes home,
more.
practices,
He's just-
and it is not even.
It's a
He's practicing
fiend,
like
dude.
scales. He's like practicing like regular things. He's like trying to get that note just even, on the high
yeah.
note.
I want to play all the notes in the chord like as fast as I can.
Yeah.
Oh, it's nuts.
Let's play a song and then we'll talk about our favorite jazz guitarists and,
Okay.
and pianists.
Yeah. Did you say pianist? I said pianist.
Yeah.
Wow.
Pianist. I don't think there's that much of a difference.
Okay, what do you want to play?
Do you want to sing Africa?
Yeah, let's do Africa.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
So we have been singing this song for years together. And this is a Toto song. We've got a comment here. Lagunitas. And we've got Nick, who's going to be visiting Fort Collins in October. And he's an IPA fan like me.
You need Airbnb to stay at?
Yeah, hey Nick, if you're looking for an Airbnb, I'm gonna go ahead and Patreon message me if you want that, and then I'll shoot you Dave's info because he's got a dope Airbnb.
Yeah, we just finished rehabbing this thing. I've been working on that for the last 3 months, and it's like super dope.
Yeah, Lee Morgan also met a rather tragic end, said Uber Jam Sam. Yeah, very tragic. His wife killed him. Horrible.
She shoot him?
Yeah, on stage.
Bad boy.
I mean, bad girl. Yeah.
Bad girl.
Poor Lee.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Shoot him.
I think it was a mental health issue.
Mm.
I think, you know, I mean, there was some serious illness going on there. Africa. All right, so we're ready for that. Hey, Bob, is that Bob Parr? Yeah, one of our Front Range students. Robert
Hey, what's
Parr.
up, Bob?
Bob. Me and Dave have both taught Bob in classes here in Colorado. Should we sing it?
Yeah. I hear the drums echo tonight. She hears only whispers of some quiet conversation.
She's coming in 12:30 flight. The moonlight wings reflect the stars that guide me toward salvation.
I stopped an old man along the way, hoping to find some old forgotten words or ancient melodies.
She turned to me as if to say, hurry boy, she's waiting there for you.
It's gonna take a lot to keep me away from you. There's nothing that 100 men or more could ever do. God bless the rains down in Africa. It's gonna take some time to do the things we never had. Wild dogs cry out in the night, 'cause they grow restless, longing for some solitary company.
I know that I must do what's right, as sure as Kilimanjaro rises like Olympus upon Serengeti.
I aim to curb what's deep inside, frightened by these things that I've become. It's gonna take a look to drive me away from you. There's nothing that 100 men or more can ever do. God bless the rains down in Africa. It's gonna take some epic ending.
It's always different.
It's always different. Yeah, we haven't played it like that for a while, if ever.
All right, Bob says hi. Well, it is 8:40. We can play a few more probably.
Yeah.
Think
Do you want to finish that jazz? Okay.
Oh yeah,
real quick.
Let's finish
Good
the jazz
drummer.
list.
Go.
Ooh, drummer. Oh my God. He says. Okay, well, I'd say my favorite jazz drummer would have to be like Max Roach comes to mind.
Oh, Max is dope.
You know, I mean, I love Max Roach, but yeah, there's others I can think of, but you go.
Yeah,
ahead.
Philly Joe Jones.
Ah,
Badass. Jack DeJohnette's pretty dope. Too.
Jack DeJohnette. I love Art Blakey more, not for necessarily as my favorite jazz drummer, but like what he did for jazz with the Jazz Messengers. He was the reason Lee Morgan, came to be, and a bunch of others, right? Like Wayne Shorter was in the Jazz Messengers with Art Blakey.
Yeah. It was kind of like Miles Davis's band. It's like a kind of a training ground for a lot of like really big stars after that.
Yeah. Now, before we move on, let me ask the channel, and they can just answer whenever. But do you guys want me to teach jazz on the channel? Because that's something I don't really do. And I taught basic jazz harmony, and a couple people were excited about it. So while we're talking about this, feel free to say yes or no or maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But it's hard to teach jazz, and I've mostly been teaching other styles. So if people want it, we can do it. Maybe I can have Dave help on some lessons. Anyway, all right, so that's drums.
Guitar player.
Oh boy. Okay.
Oh boy.
Are we doing top three jazz
Let's do
guitars?
top three.
Let's do top three. Okay. Okay.
Okay, I'll go first.
All right.
Wes Montgomery.
Okay. Yeah. Can't go wrong.
Definitely. Big time. The Stomping at the Half Note. Smoking at the Half Note, sorry.
Smoking at the Half Note.
With the Wynton Kelly trio.
Oh, man.
Behind Wes Montgomery. It's basically like the Miles Davis rhythm section, like Paul Chambers on bass, Jimmy Cobb on drums, and
Jimmy Smith?
No. Piano. I just said it a second
Wynton
ago.
Kelly?
Wynton Kelly trio. Yeah.
Wynton Kelly.
Behind Wes Montgomery's just epic.
Right.
No blues.
Oh man.
Yeah. So go ahead next. You're next.
Okay. Pat Martino.
Ooh, a Pat Martino.
I love
guy.
Pat Martino. I mean, because he's just so epically like strange in a cool way, and his lines are so fast, but it's still melodic, But Pat Martino also, his story is pretty wild. I wouldn't say he's my all-time favorite, but as far as top three, he's probably third.
Annabelle's asking if we're done.
Oh yeah, we probably will be in the next 15 minutes. But yeah, she can come over whenever. Mind you, I have no friends, but yes, jazz, please.
Welcome to the jazz club.
Sounds about right. Sounds like the jazz club is consistent.
Yeah, I can't hang out, guys, and have friends. I have to. I have to practice my modes.
Yeah.
I have to transcribe Charlie Parker for the next 5 years.
Yeah, I'm gonna do some Charlie. I'm gonna do an 80-year-old recording transcription.
Oh, Charlie Parker! That should have been my favorite saxophone player.
Yeah, but he's not my favorite.
I've probably got the most out of him.
Really?
Because his bebop swing, feel and articulation and phrasing and stuff is like what bebop is. Like if you're a good bebop player, you sound like Charlie Parker.
Right. Bruce Foreman has
traditional sense.
Bruce Foreman has that picture of Charlie Parker right behind him on every.
That's the
Godfather.
Like, if you want to swing and bebop your ass off, like and have all the jazz nerds be like, dude,
right,
like. You play Charlie Parker shit and you learn.
Yeah, if you really want to learn jazz, transcribe Charlie Parker.
The swing and the
right. Play along with him. Slow it down to 50%. Do whatever you got to do, and then learn a bunch of his heads. Billy's Bounce, Donna Lee.
Get the essence of the articulation,
ornithology,
the accents on the upbeats and stuff.
We could play some Charlie Parker.
Yeah, let's play Charlie Parker.
All right, which one?
I don't know. There's like Blues for Alice. There's like
Blues for Alice is good.
Oh
yeah, yeah.
Anthropology.
Sure. Donna Lee. Well, do you want to do a head? And in that case, you pick. Unless you want me to do a head, in that case, I'll pick.
Okay, which one we both know? We could both play the head at the same time.
Well, I know all the ones you just played.
You did? No? No?
Are you sure? I'm not
Down, dancing?
Yeah,
What?
no,
Horsey?
So there's Billy's Bounce. There's Blues for Alice. There's Donna Lee. There's Ornithology. Those are the ones we've talked about so far.
Billy Bounce. Let's do
Anthropology.
Billy's. We haven't done any
Okay.
blues yet.
Yeah. You got that head?
Yeah, yeah.
It's F, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is some blues. All right, hope you're ready for some blues. Thanks for sticking around. Really appreciate it, and
Thanks, everybody.
all the viewers and all the thumbs ups, and we're having a great time. So thanks for joining us.
And check out my YouTube channel, Dr. D Productions.
Yeah, if you're just joining us and you missed the beginning, Dr. D Productions is in the title. You just gotta click it and then save it for after the stream, and subscribe. Hit the thumbs up on his videos, and learn how to record. Honestly, it's really. I mean, you won't regret it.
Production and music recording. All right.
Dr. D Productions. All right, Billy's Bounce.
2,
1,
2, 3.
2-set guitars, let's go, says Dia Derek. Yeah. So, yeah, we're probably going to call it soon, everybody. But really, really nice to jam.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
you know,
good jams, dude.
Dude, great jam.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've like done a jam.
Really,
and kind of
really
gotten
jammed.
loose,
Yeah.
really kind of stretched out.
I think the last time was here. Remember when you came over like a month ago and we just like freaking wailed for like 2 hours straight? We were like, wow, we haven't done that forever.
I know, cause like we get some days where we go to these places, we just like get out and like kind of just like let go. You know, it's like we take a solo, you take a solo, blah, you know, boring, all right, same thing, like, and then
those are at the gigs when it's kind of boring because it's
Yeah.
like you know.
it's kind of like prescribed.
Yeah.
But then we start like, okay, you start playing out, and I'll play out, and then we'll
Yeah.
kind of like do like solos at the same time.
We'll stretch each other.
Try to
and
play
then
off of each other.
We'll like hear each other's rhythmic ideas.
Just like go to different styles, feels,
Yeah.
change drastically.
We kind of built this like vocabulary with each other after jamming. We had this thing I actually talked about on the stream last night that I was mentioning you briefly. I was like, yeah, me and Dave had this thing where we jammed every single night in LA at USC. Well, at our apartment, and I think it was probably like a good 6 months straight where we pretty much did that, where we jammed every night
because we'd be practicing like our own stuff for our
practicing all the
juries.
barriers.
You know, it was really around jury time where we had to learn all those tunes and play all those barriers. The barriers.
Oh yeah, the
what
barriers.
a negative connotation.
Yeah, the barrier to success.
This tune list of songs we want you to learn how to play. It's called a barrier.
And the juries, even
juries.
the jury.
Here.
Serious people.
Court
with
in session. You ever accused of sucking a jazz
Yeah,
guitar?
the
You must prove
judgment.
yourself to this jury of your peers that are judging you.
You must prove yourself. Who come before the jury?
Everyone's wearing wigs and like.
Yeah, powdered. Who be you who come forth to with Old English, you know? And they're like, oh, you're going to
What
play.
say ye about these scales?
You're going to play John Coltrane? You are not worthy until you prove the jury otherwise.
Which cage position chord is this?
Yeah. You missed it. Too late. I just want you to fail.
A shape of A minor, of D minor, 7.
Yeah.
I don't know.
A shape of D minor
It's
7.
weird. It really kept you on your toes.
No, it was great.
But
We would have
fear is a great motivator.
we would have a lot of practice time for that, so we say it with also respect.
Yeah, we
for
say
the
it with
process.
respect.
Honestly.
It's yeah. We went to a school with a really difficult program.
It was a
like,
conservatory. It was a
to
conservatory.
get our butts kicked, so we'd like be motivated to get better, and yeah, which it worked. Like,
It did
I
work.
learned so much stuff there. I thought I was good at guitar, and then I went there and realized I didn't know anything and started from scratch.
Do you
So,
guys?
It's good to have those experiences. Be humble. You don't know shit.
We don't know how
Honest.
about. I don't know how about you. We have a request for how about you. Don't know that one. I've never even heard of that one. How about you? Yeah. I don't know.
How about you?
Sorry, Becky. Becky was the 100th sub.
Is that a jazz song?
Maybe. I don't know.
How
you?
How about you, Burton Lane?
Oh, okay.
I know the chords. They're right here in front of me.
Yeah. Well, we don't know the melody. But honestly, we might call it soon.
Yeah.
We could even call it now, because we've been playing.
Do you guys know how about you? Yeah.
So, and I've been streaming
How about
now.
you? Do
I
you
bet
know?
I bet my watchers are getting tired because I did 2.5 hours last night, and now we're up to 2 hours almost. So
Any of the same people, or is it just different people?
no, some of the same people.
Yeah.
Twilight Storm, also known as Becky, was here last night. AJ, who was commenting earlier, was here last night. Uber Jam Sam, who donated, was here, but I didn't see him in the chat. But he told me today he was watching. So
My mom
I have
was
loyal
watching.
subscribers.
If you're watching, hi mom, love you.
yeah, Roseanne was watching last
It's
night.
like I don't know, might be late.
Hi, Dave's mom.
When did you go last night? Like late?
No, it was about 7 to 9:30.
Okay, well that's.
That's about
She
an
watched
hour
it
later
last
there.
night. Or maybe
Yeah.
she watched it at a different time.
So we could do one more and call it.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you want to go out on? What's our big one? We get weird. Let's get really weird. You guys want us to get weird?
Time to get weird. Oh boy, I gotta pee, but I can hold it.
You can hold it.
I can hold it. It'll help the weirdness. could do anything. It doesn't have to be on the list. Could even be one of your songs.
Yeah, we don't have to do your stream.
If you want to get weird, we should probably do a jazz song, right? I mean, we can get weird on one of my songs. We can get weird with No Way Out and just do hip hop and then just get super weird on like a D minor vamp.
Let's do that.
Let's do that. We're gonna do No Way Out, which was off of my first album, A. Mays in Grace. AJ says, "How about What I'd Say?" Well, we're gonna do we're gonna do No Way Out. It's been decided.
That's a good song too. That's
Ray Charles.
Ray Charles. Yeah.
I love that song. So I'll start with a hook, and then we'll start rapping. This is a hip hop song. Warning. There's no way out, no way. This maze is deep and it's dark. There's no way out, no way. This maze is eating up my heart. There's no way out, no way. This maze is deep and it's dark. There's no way out, no way. This maze is eating up my heart. Life is filled with such tricks, trials, and tribulations. It's the urge to keep my relationships from sailing away. Sunk at your shore, built beaches at your bay. My castles need more sand, but you blew your sand away. In the thicket, in the fog, I'm thinking I'll burn this log. Collect smoke in my lungs, come back with fire in my songs. Long way to go from here, hope to find you still are near. It's so hard to think about nothing except you. It's hard to blink, this darkness makes me so blue. I send you letters, but I doubt they ever go through. Another wall in this maze makes it hard to know you. Another wall in this maze makes it hard to know you. Another wall in this maze makes it hard to know you. Yeah, no way out, unless you show me no way out. No way out, there's no way out. No way, this maze is deep and it's dark. There's no way out. No way, this maze is eating up my heart. There's no way out. No way, this maze is deep and it's dark. There's no way out. No way, no way, no. Dinner is served and look what's prepared. I never stay up late at night, find a nice chair, then sit there and stare. It's hard to play fair when I don't see no rules in the book. Hard to say beware when I see no thieves and no crooks. I guess it's just these long nights alone that make me write these heightened songs of emotion while knowing I'm blowing this way out of proportion. I took this mellow chord and laid distortion. Let the baby cry out until I ask for an abortion. A portion of this meal sealed fate in a question mark. Didn't fuck with exclamation points. You can call it a protective heart. There's an art to waiting and a science to being patient. But tell me, is there a way to be blatantly charming to a distant maiden playing cards frequently? Hoping for the jack of hearts to stick with me. It's rather silly, really stubborn me. Like a rock, rocking endlessly in my chair. Staring in the maze, wondering if you're still there. There's no way out, no way. This maze is deep and it's dark. There's no way out, no way, no way. Ah, there's no way out, no way. This maze is deep and it's dark. There's no way out, no way, no way. No way out, no way out, no way out, no way out. No way out, no way out, no way out, no way out, no way out. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. No way out. This maze is eating up my heart. It's eating up my heart.
Cool. Yeah, buddy.
All right.
I
Dr.
miss
D.
you, man.
Gonna miss you too, man.
Mitch Thomas, of course, you know.
Gonna miss you too.
Cheers, man.
Happy to have the last Colorado video with Dr. D here, Dave.
Yeah,
know?
thanks for having me, Mitch. That was a lot of fun.
Of
Thanks
course,
for
man.
getting me out of my house.
Yeah. Dave's been working on his house like a zombie,
They
just
don't- they
working
don't
day
care.
and night. Yeah, they don't care.
Except for the guy who might stay in the Airbnb, he might care.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Nick Ruffino will care. So many comments, wonderful support, and we really thank you. We're gonna enjoy the rest of our night here because I'm heading out in a couple nights or couple days, Saturday. So we're stoked to have Jan for you, and remember to do all the great things like check out his channel, subscribe to mine, whatever. You know the drill. Enough YouTubers tell you that every day, so you know what to do. But yeah, we'll probably do more stuff in the future. Obviously, I'll be back here in November, and then we'll probably play gigs. I'll be coming back for my CD release show.
You're gonna do it here?
Yeah, I want to do it with the trio. So even if I have to fly back for a dedicated week, I'll do that. So maybe I can do a YouTube stream even again or something. But the main thing is to do that CD release show with Walt and Drew, like in the spring,
yeah.
like 2023 kind of thing. So we'll leave it there, and thanks everybody. Let's read these last couple comments here. Anyway, I can't read. My contacts suck. Thank you, everybody. We're gonna log off. And any final words, Dave?
Don't change.
Don't change, everybody. You heard it from Dr. D. Don't change.